Hi, everybody. My name is Trista Merrill, and I'm a professor of English and the director of honors studies at Finger Lakes Community College. Now, I suspect some of you, when you heard the word honors, decided to sort of tune me out because you think it doesn't apply to you. But guess what? It might. It just might. Because honors at the college level often has less to do with how smart you are or how good you are in school or how much you like school, and it has more to do with whether or not you are a passionate and curious sort of person. Sure, the smart kids tend to gravitate towards honors, but guess what? So do a whole bunch of other kids. Because guess what? Honors is an interesting sort of place in college. The cool thing is, it's a place where students who are curious and enthusiastic about a subject can gather with other people who are also curious and enthusiastic about the subject. Not all subjects, maybe. Like, for instance, I don't think I was ever enthusiastic and curious about math, for instance. English, sure. Math, not so much. But maybe you are curious and passionate and enthusiastic about math. Or maybe it's English, or maybe history, or maybe something you haven't even discovered yet. Maybe you don't know what you're excited about, but you want to find out because you need to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of your life. And college can be a great place to do that. And honors at FLCC can also be a great place to do that. Because can you imagine how different learning would be if the room was filled with other people who were enthusiastic and curious about learning about the subject? Students who chose to be there rather than students who had it put on their schedule for that time block, and that's the only reason they're there. So you spend the entire class period staring at the back of somebody's head, and if you're lucky, maybe they're not snoring. Well, guess what? You're not going to find that in honors classes. In fact, let me show you a couple of pictures of what honors classes can sometimes look at the community college level or any level. Let me just share my screen, and we will do this. We will start the slideshow. This is a class that I taught a couple of semesters ago. It's about half of the class. And they are discussing children's literature and sort of the precursors to Harry Potter. So they're talking about heroes. And can see how interested the student who's standing up in, how closely she's watching her classmates, and the one who's taking notes next to her, and the two farther down the table who are smiling at one another and pointing at their notebooks and talking about things that they're interested in as part of the class. They didn't know I was taking this picture. It's not posed. If it was, I would have removed the Coke bottle and it's Morton's bottle, so it looked a little bit more professional. But no, this is one of our typical classes. This class does not have a teacher in the picture. The student who is standing up and talking is leading her classmates in a gaming session in a class called Games and Storytelling, where they spent part of the class talking about or playing games, and the second part of the class was them talking about narrative elements in those games and how stories were told and characters were created. But look at how attentively they're listening to their classmate. That's pretty cool. This class is a freshman composition class, English 101. They're talking about an article that they read for class. See the kid on his phone in the corner? He's not just playing games or going on Facebook or Snapchat or something. He's actually looking up an author so they can learn more about who wrote the piece that they're reading. Same with the person on the computer. They're researching. The kid with his head down is taking notes. So this is what a class might look like. Sitting in a big circle. No one is looking at the back of anyone else's head. They're in a room full of people who have chosen to be there. Sure, maybe they're going to be tired on some days. That's fine. But they are there because they've chosen to be there, which makes the learning experience so much better because you have people around you. Because that's the other piece. Whether you go to Finger Lakes Community College, whether you go to some other school, whether you take honors classes, whether you don't, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you find your people when you are there. Because that's really what honors is about. That's really what community about. And that's really what learning should be about, right? It should be a group of people who are going to support each other and help each other to learn. This is a Lord of the Rings class that I taught. It was a very small class, but I had to be away on one day, and I asked these students to send me a picture because I asked them to get together and meet in class anyway. And they did because they wanted to. Don't they look happy? Wouldn't that be a cool way to spend your learning experience, is to actually be happy when you're in the class? And one way that you can work on doing that is to actually find your people. You might be a nerd about something. That's okay. Being a nerd is cool, especially when you can find other people who are also nerds and who are willing to listen to you. Your nerd energy is a positive thing if you know how to use it. And the way to use it is to be involved. When you're in class, be an active class person. When you're in a club, be an active member of that club and find your people, no matter where you go, whether it's FLCC or honors or anywhere else. Find your people, because your people are going to be the ones that support you. They're going to support you in the classroom. They're going to support you in your community. They're going to support you no matter what you have to do, and they're going to help you to do it. And that's how you're going to succeed. You may know exactly what you want to do with the rest of your life, and maybe you don't. No, both of those things are okay, as long as you go in and you find your people. Maybe they're in the cafeteria. Maybe they're in the library. Maybe they're in a study lounge. Maybe they're in a club. Maybe they're in a classroom. No matter where they are, find them and celebrate your nerd energy. And that's the way that you're going to figure out what you want to do, and you're going to find the best path to get there, and you're going to be happy and successful. Now, I might be a little biased. I think you should come to FLCC and you should come up to me and you should take an honors class and you should say, "Hey, Dr. T, I heard you talk when I was in ninth grade or 10th grade and I was super excited. And now here I am. Tell me what classes to take. Help me find my people." And I'll do that. And if you don't go to FLCC, there'll be someone there who will help you find your people. Just come to FLCC. We're the best. Anyway, have a fantastic day and find your people and celebrate your nerd energy. Thank you.